Dustin Wright from Ecumenical Women, here at the 58th Commission on the Status of Women. We are here with two of the Lutheran World Federation delegates to CSW58, Cristina and Elita. I'd ask first if you two would just kind of introduce yourselves a little bit further, mention what your role is in the Lutheran World Federation, and that sort of thing.
Cristina Rendon, I'm Program Assistant for Women in Church and Society at the Lutheran World Federation.
I'm Elita Moyo from Zimbabwe. I'm a project coordinator in the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Zimbabwe, which is supported by the Lutheran World Federation.
Awesome, thank you. So first question, and then we'll have some kind of conversation after that. As I understand it, this is both your first times at the Commission on the Status of Women. So perhaps just maybe tell folks sort of about your first impressions, as well as why you are here. Go first if you want, Christine.
The Lutheran World Federation has a long-standing commitment with inclusiveness, and the women's program at LWF is focusing on gender justice issues, both within the church and in the society. So for us, taking part in this larger advocacy gathering as CSW is a key element on our advocacy work, on our commitment work, on joining the other faith-based organizations and churches that have a similar commitment to inclusiveness, to speak out as a network and to also extend the concerns that we have for women in the church to women in the society.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cristina. Elita, what's your impression? Why you're here?
I'm not going to repeat what Cristina said, but as a coordinator of the gender justice in Zimbabwe, this is I stand a good chance to be here. It's special for a new person to experience such gathering. It helps me a lot because I met with many people from the global, and it improves also my network with other people from other countries. And also, I got a new experience which is going to help me on my work in the church as a pastor and also as a coordinator of the gender justice. Perfect.
Thank you so much. So this year's priority theme at the Commission on the Status of Women was evaluating the MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals, and how that relates to women and girls. And your roles in the LWF, Elita, you're sort of more doing on-the-ground sort of work, as I understand it, and Cristina, you're sort of kind of working in sort of the international kind of organization. So maybe just have some conversation about how that interacts, how what you learned and experienced at CSW, how that will affect your work, that sort of thing.
Thank you very much, Justin. There's one side event which challenged me a lot, especially when I related this with my work. The issue of the engagement of faith leaders in addressing sex and gender justice violence. I find it challenging that as faith leaders, we are not much involved in these issues of addressing, or we, as they said, we lack knowledge and information about gender justice violence, gender-based violence, and how to handle those cases if there are some people come to the faith leaders for help. I can say the victims of GBV
Mhm.
We lack that information how to go about and help them, because we are not too involved in these issues. We are much concerned about preaching and doing other things also, but we are the leaders who are always with the people in the community.
Exactly. Yeah.
But every time, but we are not too involved in these issues which affect the society.
All right. Great. That's a really important issue to highlight here, and something that's definitely been talked about throughout CSW this year so far. So, how does that relate?
For us, it has been very instrumental and key to confirm that our commitment to gender justice has also to be deeply connected with policy making, with accountability, with mechanisms to make sure that good intentions are realized. One way of doing this is through our participation at CSW. We support churches in countries where we have women's networks, where we have member churches, to raise concerns on women's rights through CSW. This has been once and again stressed out here during CSW as a priority, using the mechanisms that are legally binding, using the mechanisms where countries are held accountable for their respect of human and women's rights. And that's something that LWF is supporting strongly in Geneva, where the CSW meetings take place. And we are very satisfied of seeing that we were on the good track. We have learned a lot and gained a lot of experience and relevant contacts here during CSW.
That's extremely helpful, and just I think kind of highlighting somewhat both of what you said, the need for faith communities to address not just the spiritual matters as you said, but the sort of the needs of people on the ground, in this world as well as the next sort of thing. I thought of one more question when you were talking, and it's a little bit of a surprise, and I'm sorry about that. But this might be a good opportunity to highlight that the Lutheran World Federation does have a new gender justice policy coming out. I might not have phrased that exactly right. But maybe just talk a little bit about that real quick, if you have any comments on that. What's new about it? Yeah.
Well, maybe I start.
Mm-hmm.
The gender justice policy is the result of a participatory process, and that's what is relevant about it. It took a long time. It took the participation of a committee, the Gender Advisory Group, that was formed by women and men from different regions, different churches, and the reflection process led us to this document, which affirms our commitments with gender justice, which have started a long time ago with the decision made already in 1984 to have equal representation of women, men, and youth in the decision-making bodies of LWF, and that little by little developed from a commitment to eradicate gender violence within the church to a broader commitment with justice. So now we are looking forward to strengthening the processes of implementation in the different regions that will take different priorities, because our member churches face different challenges. So we have started already those processes in several regions, and we are eager to support and to strengthen those implementation plans.
Awesome. Do you have any additional comments on the?
What I can say is that this document is going to help us a lot in the church, as it will give us the guide. It is going to guide us on our plans and on our strategy. We are not going to have another gender justice policy as a church, but we are going to use this, the very one from the Lutheran World Federation, because up there are no people we are the people in the regions who can
Absolutely.
implement this document.
Absolutely. And that's great, and it's been carefully thought out and prayerfully discerned with a participatory process, as you said. Well, Cristina and Elita, once again, thank you so much for being willing to speak with us. Thank you so much for coming both on pretty long journeys to hear the Commission on the Status of Women. Once again, this is Ecumenical Women at the 58th Commission on the Status of Women, and please stay tuned to for a bunch more great videos and interviews and stories from our many and diverse group of delegates from around the world. Thanks so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.